All right, y'all, we're gonna start off with the training because that's always how we've done these things. And even though I am prepping 17 weeks out now, I still feel that, yeah, like this is still the best part of the day. This is still the most exciting part of the day. There is a certain point where maybe hitting certain physique landmarks, like, oh, this is starting to show, this is really starting to poke through, where that kind of, to some extent, like, makes you just as excited as what's taking place with your training. And that makes sense because you train to have those things, but we're not there yet. And I still feel pretty like offensive when it comes to the lifting. I don't feel like I'm backpedaling at all. I still feel that, yeah, I get in there and I want to do something today. So new block, we just started a new training block, 4 days a week, upper, lower. The upper days are mostly, actually they're all torso, and all my arm work is being done before my lower body sessions. So far, so good when it comes to this. First set on these decline dumbbell presses, I am using a full lockout. And this is, again, because, orthopedically, like, might as well, like, if it moves in this direction, it's probably for a reason. But also just to keep track of how well I'm progressing, maybe at some point maintaining, maybe at some point trying to fight off the regression in the most responsible way possible. So this one is like RPE 8, and then everything after that is in soft lockout fashion, which it's so crazy how things come full circle, because now that it's, just a little bit more widely accepted that, hey, on this exercise with this strength curve, probably the portion of it that's most important to the bottom half, right? But also intuitively, like way before this, that's just how it felt best to me, was to have a soft lockout on my presses. But then eventually, like, people, started doing my thing, and people started paying attention to my training, and I'm like, I'm over here and I got to set a good example for all you kids, because all I know is that this works for me. But sometimes, man, especially as you pick up experience, your body's feedback's important and to be taken into consideration. So these soft lockouts, I feel like so at home. These soft lockouts feel amazing. And to tell you the truth, they don't even look that terrible. It's just that when I would post a video on like my bodybuilding.com training log, like you'd have some like that doesn't count, for real. So I was like, okay, like this feels natural to me, but I understand people are watching, so we'll try to set a good example. But yeah, I just get more lengthened exposures when I do it that way, and it just feels so much more natural. I kind of just ended up performing it that way somewhere along the way. This bad boy's back, the diagonal pull down. Hey, different camps out there in regards to like whether or not it does what it's supposed to do. But again, like for me, it's brought some really good results to my lower lat area, my athletes as well. And at the end, I think that is like the true test. Like in actual sports worlds, like there's things that could be happening or that the analytics show that this makes sense on paper. But a lot of the times, especially when it's working really well, this concept, this idea for a wide array of different people, not one person, should be re-examined, to be considered. And man, when I throw this baby in, I just, like right away, like 2-3 weeks in, it's like that extra fullness in my lower lats just is like extra popping. And I really enjoy it because I've done it for a good 3 years now. So the variation is always going to vary a little bit per the equipment. This isn't necessarily my favorite place to do it, but there just isn't a whole lot of room to move benches over. But I'm excited to have this thing back, and it's like riding a bike for me. Like right away, I felt at home. Upper back, big thing. I want to, like, my traps have never been, especially because they're like right next to my delts, and my delts are pretty decent. They've never been much to talk about, but a lot of this comes from the lack of my like upper shelf in the back. I think a lot of it comes from the fact that one of the there's always these like rules of thumbs or like these fundamentals that no one like really necessarily questions. And one of them, like way back when, a lot of you guys might be too young for this, was like keep your shoulders away from your ears when it comes to rowing or pressing. And so yeah, for years I kind of did a lot of my like upper back rows, like trying to keep my shoulders away from my ears. And if you want to target like the T1, T2, there's going to be scapular retraction and but then also elevation in this direction. So we've really tried to get on that and improve that area this off season. And I can feel it, man. Like sometimes I'll catch myself, just doing my thing. I'm like, ooh, like there's something there. So, so far so good there. Incline pressing, so nothing too exciting there. Same thing with these, like first set, full range of motion, and then everything after, like the first set is going to be for a lot of my presses, the one where I'm keeping track of objective progress, and then everything after is soft lockout, because again, more length and exposures. I can do more reps is all that really means. And it just feels so much more natural to me. So yeah, like it's again, it's crazy how things come full circle. But yeah, weight room wise, I'm still having a blast. Still feel like I still don't feel like I'm prepping. I still am kind of taking this as like I mentioned before, it feels like, take a 200-pound version of me like many years ago. Like if I decided to drop a few pounds, I wouldn't probably put too much thinking behind it. I'd probably just, lighten up this thing. Okay, have a salad every once in a while. When you go to a restaurant, don't get the thing you truly want every single time, or at least portion it out. That's exactly what this phase feels like to me right now. What this whole contest prep has felt like to me. It just feels like, like a lifestyle diet, basically. So I'm gonna keep it this way as long as possible, because at a certain point, we all love like the splitting hair parts and when the experiment gets like very sensitive as bodybuilders, but it also gasses you out physically, mentally. So if I can save that like for the end, like I'm just gonna have a lot of kick for, again, that hardest part, the most fatiguing part, where you basically inherit, whatever levels of mental and physical fatigue you experienced up until that point. So so far I feel, I just feel like I'm living the lifestyle, like the bodybuilding lifestyle. That's all this has been to me so far. Dumbbell rows are back. Range of motion drop sets, just like I do with basically all my pulling movements. So full ROM is about that. Full ROM for me on this movement, to me anyways, and what feels right is just short of like my humerus being like along the midline of my torso. So a lot of people would be like, man, that first rep's a partial, but whatever. I've heard it all at this point. So this is one of those movements that the first week I have it in, I will tweak my back. So it did impact my hinges later that week. But historically, I know this. It's like the first week, I'm going to feel a little shifted, a little tilted. But by week 2, 3, it's like whatever. And again, love this movement because it's like super straightforward. It's literally just yank. That's it. Just yank. It'll go where it needs to go for most people. And then these dumbbell flies are back. And flies are movements that sometimes towards the later stages of the prep, I will do more fly volume than pressing volume. I feel that on these, the leverage disadvantage is you lose weight isn't as great. There's just less stuff to balance. So as you like lose a pound or 2 pounds from one week to the next, it doesn't feel too different. Whereas like pressing, as soon as you kick those things up, as soon as you grab them off the dumbbell rack, sometimes you just know that, today everything's going to be a little different and we will have to adjust potentially. So these partial flies. Again, partial flies because, again, there is no tension up here. I call them 10 to 2 flies because that's what it looks like from my perspective. And then these lateral raises, which a lot of my isolation work is going to be myo rep sets. But my training group, actually, they all wanted to do myo matching this training cycle. And I was like, oh, geez. I like it, but it's a lot of work sometimes, especially that first activation set's very progressive. It's like, oh, I did 15 with that activation set, but now I have to do 15 of these little myo rep sets. But hey, why not? I have the ability to recover right now, even though I'm doing what my training group is doing. If I have to modify things slowly, little by little, like here and there for myself, even if it is just like on this specific day, like I know. Yeah, I know it's probably going to have to happen. Is I become smaller, more fragile, and just less able to tolerate training stress. But right now, I feel like $1 million, man. This lateral raise here, again, just a slightly different variation. I still do my behind the backs. I still do my across the bodies. I have never toyed with this one. I've toyed with one on the incline, but I was going across my body. And this occasion, I'm just kind of like doing this number. It's almost like a preacher curl for your side delt. Yeah, but I guess, no, things are good. So uneventful. I just, like I've said, it feels weird sometimes, but I'm progressing. I'm about where I need to be. But yeah, let me show that to you guys. I'll show you guys where the physique is at, what my latest weigh-ins have been, and you guys decide. All right, let's start with the excuses. I had a pound of Greek yogurt right before this and some tortilla chips, full fat tortilla chips at that. This is what I look like. This is what I look like these are my last few set of weigh-ins. I really only plan to lose just under 3 pounds over the course of the month of July. Again, the sliding, it doesn't, you know, it's not my hype, man, put it that way. But yeah, I can see I'm getting tighter. I can see that I'm still about 10 pounds over, and we have work to do. And I understand that it's a process, and that goal's not to compete today, but, you know, all through November. So that's the physique update. If there is one negative to how this prep has been going so far, is just the fact that, man, like, I haven't experienced that weird place as a physique athlete during a prep where you suck at some things, but your mind is just racing and pivoting, and it's so creative, and it's able to think in, especially when it comes to like work related, those special interests of yours in like these very systematic ways. But it's also good at thinking laterally and viewing these systems from different angles. I haven't gotten to that point yet, and I miss it. I do miss it. I don't know what that means exactly, but I do miss that part, and I hope it hits me soon, because when I am in that mode, I am especially much more productive when it comes to creating and helping you guys with problem solving when it comes to, you know, y'all's bodybuilding, y'all's lifting. It's not there yet, but I hope maybe sometime after July, like I get to that point where, you know, again, like Tom Hanks in that movie talking to the volleyball Wilson, like I want to be there again, because boy, it's hard, it sucks, but you learn so much about yourself and the world when you are in that zone. And over the years, I've learned to be there and have it not necessarily impact those around me as much as it did when I first started doing this thing. So yeah, I'm waiting on that, because that is overall probably my favorite part about contest prepping. So, but right now, 17 weeks out, it's been chill. Feels like a lifestyle diet. Slowly but surely, I got about 10 pounds to lose, but life is good. And don't get me wrong, I'm having a fantastic time. It's just very different this time compared to previous preps.